Good morning, rise and shine, Niner gang, Niner faithful. We had a hell of a game last night. We came out on top, we beat the Cowgirls 17-9. So, gonna get into a few things in this video real quick. Tell y'all some likes, dislikes, and things that I saw that were good, things that I saw that were bad. My voice sounds a little raspy. It's because I was yelling and screaming. I am a real fan, so when I watch football, I am into the game, plays, calls, flags, everything. I'm all into it. So if my voice sounds a little crazy, I'm sorry. But good thing is we won 17-9. Next thing is penalties. Oh my God. Penalties. We had one too many. So we had, I believe, like 17, 18 penalties for almost 200 fucking yards. That's horrible, guys. Really, really bad. We gotta find a way to stop that because that is horrible. I'm pretty sure Shanahan is ripping heads off, in these meetings when they start to, when they come back from these off days, because that was an atrocity last night, man. Flag after fucking flag, and then the stupid thing was we was in our own house. You would think you would get some kind of love with the rest when you're in your own home. Nope, we was getting shafted, man. There were a couple of flags that got thrown that were bullshit. Adrian Colbert came in and laid a hit on the dude. They gave him a hit on the defenseless receiver and then fucking kicked him out the game. Which to me was bullshit, man. I love football, but it's becoming this fucking ticky-tack ass game. The refs don't even let them play no more. Everything is fucking crybaby shit. Little itty-bitty stuff that they shouldn't even fucking call. Julian Taylor had one of the weirdest flags I've ever seen in my life. We were sacking Cooper Rush. And next thing you know, Julian Taylor knocks the ball out as Cooper Rush is going down. So they get him for illegal contact with the quarterback. And I'm thinking to myself, he knocked the fucking ball out. How the hell you give illegal contact on that? So we had a couple of, flags that were straight bullshit, because that would have put us right there inside like the Cowboys 10-yard line. And we would have been able to start there and probably score again. But we had a couple of bullshit flags, but there were a lot of flags, on the offensive line, a lot of holding and everything. First play, Sean Coleman goes down with an ankle injury. So we had a couple of injuries last night, too. Last night, we had 28 players who didn't even play. We only have a 90-man roster. And we basically, the first game, you're only supposed to see the starting string for like maybe one series. And then they out. And you start to see the backups and everything, all that stuff. So at the rate we're going, if everybody just stays injured and all beat up, we're going to be out there running the second, third, and fourth string guys. You know what I'm saying? We had to sign this dude, Brandon Wiles, off the fucking street just to be able to put the running backs in there, because they don't want nobody to get hurt no more. So we had a really big setback with Trent Taylor. He gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks with a minor foot issue. He had surgery for that, so that sucks. Another thing that was really, really bad, honestly, was the catching and the wide receivers. Oh my God, drop after drop. It was horrible. Guys were getting targeted and just not catching the fucking ball, man. Dante Pettis dropped a couple passes. Richie James, he dropped some passes, man. But it's just like cats weren't really trying to separate themselves. So, our offensive line, oh my God, we look bad. If that's what we got as far as backups, shit, we're in trouble. We need to find some good backups. So next year's draft, we're going to need to be drafting offensive linemen. We need to find guards. We need to find centers and tackles, because Weston Richburg, the punk ass, can't stay healthy. Yes, I said punk ass because he been there And we got him from the offensive line of the Giants. And they gave him all this praise and, oh, Richburg's going to be great for this and he's going to be great for that. The motherfucker ain't even barely been healthy. We've been fucking having serviceable backups come and play center because he can't even stay on the fucking field. He barely been able to go out there during training camp. So what the fuck makes you think we really give two shits about this dude? So for me, offensive line did not look good. One thing I did see, because I watched a video where a dude broke this down about the wide nine. Very susceptible to the run. Very susceptible to the run. Like they were just, gathering their runs on us. They didn't run too much, but like the gaps are definitely opening there. And when we play these big name runners and, these teams that got these good offensive lines, we can get gashed for big yardage unless we stop that, man, because that wide nine is very susceptible to it. In total, they only have 55 yards rushing. So, yes, is that a small number? Correct. But, it was like, little chunk plays. And, of course, the DBs weren't playing good. It was really bad. For me, it's solid, that cover defense. It leaves too many gaps, and it's too easy to get those gaps and hit them. We allowed 258 yards receiving yesterday. And a lot of those were chunk plays, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys were averaging, Devin Smith averaged 18 yards for the Cowboys. Blake Jarwin, 12.8. Cedric Wilson, 12. John Vea Johnson, had he not dropped a couple of balls, he probably would have had a higher average. He was averaging 10. Cody McElroy, 2 catches for 24 yards. He averaged 12 yards. You know what I'm saying? Michael Gallup only had 2 catches for 19 yards. That's 9.5. Yeah, think about it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 6, 7 receivers that basically were averaging the first down every time they caught the fucking ball. So, there's a lot of things we got to work on, a lot of things we got to clean up. Tarvarius Moore had a very stupid penalty. He wound up, pushing the guy when he was already out of bounds. And it's just shit we got to clean up, man. Our offensive line was trash last night. And, those are the things that didn't go so well. So let's get on to the things that did go well. Nick Mullins, 11 out of 17, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Mullins looked great last night. The interception, I'm a little iffy on. I don't really know if it was his fault or, he just didn't see the guy. But, I kind of feel like that interception may have been on Nick because I watched the game all the way through. And when I saw how he threw the interception, the dude was standing right there. I think he just read his eyes and made a good play, But Mullins looked great. He looked great, man. He was taking shots, didn't give a fuck, still delivering the ball, as Nick Mullins always does. Didn't look scared. He was out there doing his thing. Threw a touchdown pass. C.J. Beathard came out there looking scared than a motherfucker, as always. Looked like he was about to cry. He was 13 out of 17 with 141 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. But the interception he threw was like blatant and obvious. It was almost like he threw it straight to the dude. It's like you didn't see him wearing a white jersey. He took a sack, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Wilton Spate, guy we got out of UCLA, he actually started at Michigan, playing for Harbaugh. 2 out of 3 for 10 yards. He didn't really do nothing. So our running backs, we had 88 yards. You know what I'm saying? Austin Walters, kid we got coming in, 13 for 38. Brandon Wild, 7 for 29. Deebo Samuel only had 1. He had a little end around play where he had a rush for 14 yards. Raheem Mostert, 3 for 8. So he only averaged 2.7, but they took Mostert out like right away. That's why you only saw him had 3 rushes. They were like, nah, we're not taking any chances with anybody possibly start for us. So next thing you know, we go on to our receiving, and we got Deebo Samuel, 2 targets. He had 4 targets. He got 2 receptions for 61 yards. So he was good in that long game, But like I said, his drop passes not good. Austin Walter, 5 for 32. on 6 targets. Jalen Hurd, he was 3 out of 5. But Jalen Hurd separated himself. Jalen Hurd had 2 touchdowns. Both our touchdowns last night came from him. Jalen Hurd made them plays. And his first touchdown, he bullied his way into the end zone. That motherfucker caught the ball, and he was supposed to be tackled. He started turning them legs and got in that ass and got right in that end zone. The next one, he was wide the fuck open. That was because he caught one from Nick and he caught one from CJ. So I can tell you right now, Jalen Hurd has started to establish himself as a really good wide receiver for us. So he put himself in the conversation, definitely. We drafted him right after we drafted Debo. Debo didn't look too bad last night either, but Jalen, he established himself as a really good receiver. The kind of the running back committee like we had last night, it was okay. It wasn't too bad. I'll take it. It's preseason, so yeah, I can understand keeping the running backs out, but we, this dress rehearsal game, we need to have some starters on the fucking field. Somebody's got to be healthy because we can't keep getting bit by this fucking injury bug or we're going to be shit again this season. Now, I don't want that to happen. So hopefully this dress rehearsal game, we see some guys. I think honestly what's going to happen is they're going to play this next preseason game, and I believe C.J. Beathard is going to start first half. Nick Mullins will start second half. But they're going to figure out how to work in some guys that are starting. Another guy that did a fabulous job last night, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't know who he is, we drafted this guy in the 5th round, Dre fucking Greenlaw. Yes. Love that guy. Love him. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Dre Greenlaw was all over the field. He was making tackles. He was doing what the fuck he needed to do. He anchored that defense, man. Dre Greenlaw looked great. Another guy that looked great, my dude that I've been telling y'all about, Julian Taylor. I want him to make the squad. He was out there doing his thing. Demontre Moore. Ooh, that man came. That was a man-child last night. You know what I'm saying? So Azeez Al-Shir had that one fumble recovery. So we'll jump over to the defense really quick. I only got a few minutes left. I'll make it quick. Leroy Windows had a sack. Jeremiah Valawaga had 2 sacks, and he came in and wreaked havoc on that offensive line. I know it's like the 3rd stringers, maybe even the 4th stringers, but he came in and he did his job. He had 2 sacks on that ass, so he did a really good job on that one. We really didn't do too much on defense, but it was actually pretty good. Contavious Street looked good last night too. Like I said, Demontre Moore looked good. David Mayo was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Drake Greenlaw, 6 tackles. So it's just, it was pretty good, man. Cats was doing what they were supposed to do, and people were doing everything that they could, man. Demontre Moore had 3 hits on the quarterback. Jeremiah Valawaga, he had 3 hits on the quarterback to go along with those 2 sacks. You know what I'm saying? So, pass knocked down, Marshall Harris, Anton Exum Jr., 2 passes knocked down, and he came in nasty and laid him up like out. I loved it. That shit was great, man. But it was just, it was a pretty good night. You know what I'm saying? The defense played as good as they could for being backups. That lets us know that our defensive line is working, but the wide 9 is kind of susceptible to the run to an extent. Like I said, yes, they only had, a total as far as 55 yards. But one thing I can say about our defense is we held them to 3 field goals. We held the first team offense to a field goal. We held everybody, any other offense that came in for the Cowboys, they all got held to field goals. So it was awesome. We had a good night, and I can tell you right now, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I was out there with the AZ 49er Empire. Shout out to them. I loved them. Great 49er family, man. We out here in Arizona representing. It was a good turnout. We was at Varsity over on Mill, hanging out, having fun, just chilling. I got to know some of the people, got to know the president. They're great, awesome people. I love it. But yeah, man, so next game we got, let me see who the heck we got to play next really quick before I run out of time. Next we got the Broncos, ESPN. So be easy, stay mountain faithful. Love y'all.